Hello. My health integration lesson is for fifth grade with a math integration. Um, and I titled it, Let's Talk About Hygiene. So the academic focus is math, like I had said, and it's going to be dealing with addition and subtraction with decimals to the nearest hundredth place. And that is a standard and a unit in fifth grade math. So we'll be dealing with prices, which are kind of naturally already rounded to the nearest hundredth. And then the health focus is consumer health, and consumer health kind of bridges the gap between patients and their health resources. So it's kind of the stuff that's in between, like hygiene products and hygiene, personal hygiene. The lesson objectives, so the first one is that students will discuss and identify a variety of hygiene products. And then another objective for this lesson is that students will compare and contrast product prices while practicing adding and subtracting with decimals. So that's kind of the background of the lesson. So for the introductory activity, the teacher will have the students come up with different hygiene products, and the teacher will write them on the board. This is just for students to kind of, if they don't know what is considered to be a hygiene product, or if they don't really know what a hygiene product is, they can start thinking about that and talking about that. So the teacher will call on the students and they'll give an example of a hygiene product, and the teacher will write it on the board. So an example of that would be like shampoo, deodorant, hand sanitizer, soap, like that kind of stuff. And she'll write those on the board. Then after she does that, she'll ask the students to estimate how much they think that each product might cost. So if students think that hand soap costs $5 or $5.30, she'll write that on the board. And that is basically just for students to kind of start thinking about numbers with two decimal places, so numbers with hundreds, which are pricing, and just kind of to think about what these products might cost. They might have no idea, so just kind of for them to estimate and identify what hygiene products are and how much they might cost. So that's the introductory activity. That would take about ideally 5 to 10 minutes, so just a quick introductory activity to get the students kind of thinking about that kind of thing. Once that is done, the students will be put in partners, and they will be asked to make a list of daily hygiene products, so all of the hygiene products that they use in a full day. They'll make a list of those, and then they will need some kind of iPad or laptop. I know a lot of elementary students nowadays have access to that. So, or maybe it might be a day where the teacher needs to bring in a laptop cart for all the students to have laptops. And they'll look up how much each of their products cost, the actual price, and then they will add them all together and find the total cost. So this gets them thinking about prices of their they get them thinking about hygiene products and the prices of them, and then they add to get the total cost, which goes along with their adding, subtracting with decimal places to the hundredths place. So once they get all of that, they'll be asked to answer two final questions. And the two questions are, number one is, were the total prices of your hygiene products more or less than you expected? So this will go back to their estimates that they did already in the introductory activity. And they'll compare and contrast what they thought and then what they found. And then the second, and then they'll state, whether it was more or less than they had thought and that kind of thing. And then the second question is, why is it important to use personal hygiene products? So that is just kind of what they think, their opinion on all of that. And so once they're all done with their activity and their findings, and they've answered both questions, we'll come back together as a class and talk about kind of their findings and then their answers to those questions, and kind of end with a discussion. So this is an example of a product, a student product or student sample. So I've written out all of the products that a student, a pretend student might use in a day. So I have body wash written down, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, hand soap, and hand sanitizer. So they're all written down in a list. And then I went ahead and found each of their prices. So for example, body wash is $6.94, shampoo was $6.94, toothpaste was $4.49, a toothbrush was $2.49, deodorant was $4.79, hand soap was $13.99, hand sanitizer was $3.99, with the total cost being $43.63 for a full day's worth of hygiene products. And then the two questions are at the end that they are to answer kind of based on their own opinion, and then we will come together as a class to discuss those and talk about the importance of hygiene products. So that's kind of the lesson for the 5th grade consumer health with a math integration, and hopefully this is a good lesson for students to think about their personal hygiene products and why it's important to stay clean and stay healthy, which will, you know, kind of keep them out of the doctor's office once an illness might go around. So yeah.